everyone, it's Sherry from the blog OurLifeHomeschooling.com, where I share homeschooling encouragement for everyday moms. I'm going to be giving you 11 excellent Christian biography resources for your homeschool. If you're new to my channel, my name is Sherry. I am a homeschooling mom to 9 kids with one more on the way, due in just a couple weeks. I'm married to my high school sweetheart, Nelson. We've been married for 22 years, and I love sharing homeschooling encouragement to other moms on my YouTube channel and on the blog OurLifeHomeschooling.com. If you like the content that you see on this channel, would you please hit the like and subscribe button? That shows YouTube that you would like to see more of this kind of content. Who are your kids' heroes? Think about the people that they talk about. Who is it that they look up to and admire? Who do they want to be like? I want to give our kids some Christian heroes of the faith that they can look up to and admire. Other than reading the Bible, reading Christian biographies has had the biggest influence in my life. You know, we can't always control the people we're surrounded with or the kind of culture that we're born into. But when you read biographies, you can read about men and women that are from other time periods. You can be inspired by their faith and their courage. People that lived for something that was eternal. When you read Christian biographies, it can really challenge you to step above the status quo and live for something that really matters. And this is why I love reading Christian biographies to our kids. Each of the resources that I am listing are very different in nature, so they each have their own flavor and style, different genres, and also for different ages. I'm hoping to be able to describe easily to you the different resources so you can find which one will be a good fit for you at whatever stage you're in with your kids. The first book on my list is Heroes for Young Readers. These are picture books, so they would be perfect for elementary aged kids or young kids. This would be a great book for a mom to use in morning time, maybe just to do one book a week. Each book is about a different character, and they're written in 4-line verse that rhymes, and they have pictures. So it's very engaging for young readers. The second resource is Trailblazer Books. These are biographical fictional books. Each book is about a different character. They are perfect to give an elementary aged kid. They're pretty short, about 100, 150 pages, and easy to read. Illustrations are sprinkled throughout. A couple of my kids have read these and really liked them. They're easy to go through. The third resource is Christian Heroes Then and Now. This is geared for, I would say, upper elementary, middle, and high school. So these are chapter books, and each book goes pretty deep into a character's life. Each book is about a different character. These would be great to read aloud to a wide range of ages, and these are just really well done. The fourth series is the Men and Women of Faith series. This is one that I would recommend for high school. We read it last semester. We did Hudson Taylor, and I read it to our kids during morning time. Our oldest is a senior, so whenever I read aloud, I always try to read up. I've been told by moms that have been homeschooling longer than I have that you always read up to your oldest child, and it will just kind of trickle down. The other kids get plenty of other read aloud time. The books are not long. They are between 100 and 150 pages. They're each written about a different character. They are written by different authors. Some of them are autobiographies. It's just that the reading is a little bit more challenging and kind of goes deeper into, has deeper vocabulary and thought. So I would recommend it for a high school student. Some of the women and men in this series would be Amy Carmichael, Corrie ten Boom, Florence Nightingale, Gladys Aylward, Isabel Kuhn, Mary Slessor, Johnny, Erickson Tada. Some of the men, Borden of Yale, Brother Andrew, C.S. Lewis, Charles Finney, Charles Spurgeon, Eric Liddell, George Mueller, Hudson Taylor, Jim Elliott, Jonathan Goforth. And then they do have some that are for men and women. They have John and Betty Stam and the story of Francis and Edith Schaefer. Number 5 is the Lightkeepers series. This is a little bit of a different series. There are 5 books about boys, 5 books about girls. So the titles are 10 boys or girls who changed the world, 10 who used their talents, 10 boys or girls who didn't give in, 10 boys or girls who made history, and then 10 who made a difference. Each of these 5 books has 10 chapters in them, and each chapter is about a different character. Chapters are short, about maybe 10 to 12 pages. It's pretty large font. This would be a good resource if you wanted to give your kids just a very brief overview of many different characters. So they don't really go in depth. It's a short read. There's a couple of key facts and questions and a prayer at the end. So if you wanted to give them just an overview of a lot of different people to be familiar with, that would be what I would use this Lightkeepers series for. The 6th book is Trial and Triumph. This is one we have used for many years in our homeschool. This is one book. It goes through several different time periods. It goes through church history chronologically. So starting with the early church, the Middle Ages, Reformation, post-Reformation, modern missions, and then recent times. And each of those sections has about maybe 6 or 7 different people that you're learning about. Each chapter is a different hero of the faith. This book is one that we've used in morning time. I've gone through it twice, and I would say we've done it twice over a period of several years. The chapters in this book they're not light, but it's not something that an elementary child couldn't handle if you're reading it to them. I've read it to my upper elementary, and middle and high school aged kids. And, I think just sometimes we've had to stop and talk through some of the background or just a few different things, but it has been great as a morning time read aloud. The 7th series is the History Live series. These are a set of 5 books, and they go through history chronologically as well. They are biographical historical fiction. This is one I have not used as a read aloud or for morning time, but one that I've given to my kids. I assign it to them in 7th and 8th grade. And to cover the 5 books, they're able to get through all 5 of them in 2 years. These are just great chapter books, easy to read. Each chapter is about a different character, but it goes through history chronologically, and it even has just short sections between some of the chapters that just kind of describe the background of the church during that time and just some additional information. These are really easy for kids to read. My middle schoolers enjoy reading them and go through them pretty quickly. The 8th resource is Christian Biographies for Young Readers by Simonetta Carr. This is a nonfiction book. I would recommend it for all ages. It would be great to do in morning time. I will readily admit I have not personally used this, but it's on my list. I researched it just for this project to be able to share it with you. Took a look at the books, and they are so well done. Each page has illustrations. Some have original art, historical documents, just pictures from that time period. They are beautiful. They're really well done. It reads like a nonfiction book. I would say each book has about maybe 60 pages in it, and they're divided up into 5 chapters. So it almost seems like a short story, if you think of it that way. It's about that length. And I think it would be great for all ages because the pictures would be engaging for the younger readers, and then the just the thoughts and the ideas would be something that would reach up to the older kids. The 9th book is The Hiding Place, the story of Corrie ten Boom. This is one book. It's all about Corrie ten Boom. This book is so well written. I read it aloud, I think last year or 2 years ago during COVID. And it's a perfect read aloud. We read aloud in the afternoon. We have morning time in the morning and then afternoon reading. Each section of this book just ends in a cliffhanger. It has just really good thoughts and challenges your faith. This is the story of Corey, who lived in Amsterdam, and in their watch shop, they hid Jews in a room in the attic during the German occupation. Eventually they were captured, and her story is excellent. I would recommend this for middle and high school, maybe upper-aged elementary, depending on how much you think they can handle of that time period. This is a must-read. If you read aloud any book to your kids in your homeschool, you should read The Hiding Place. The 10th book that I have is God's Smuggler. This is the story of Brother Andrew. If you're familiar with Brother Andrew, he smuggled Bibles behind the Iron Curtain for many years. He believed that if Jesus could make blind eyes see, then God could make seeing eyes blind so that they would not see all the Bibles he had smuggled in his suitcase and in his car. His story is amazing. This is a great read for a middle and high school aged kids. It does have just very small themes that might be too much for some younger children. That's why I recommend it for middle ages and high school. The 11th book is the autobiography of George Mueller. This is the one that I will be reading to my kids this semester. This is a book I read as an adult. It is just a great story of faith. George Mueller, who tells the miraculous story of his conversion. He was a very rebellious person, very antagonistic to Christianity, and radically God changed his heart and led him to care for thousands of orphans. And he did so just by asking the Lord to provide for him in faith. This book is his autobiography, so you're reading directly from his journal, and it just really gives insight into his heart and his motivation. I'm really excited to read this to my kids. So I hope these 11 Christian biography resources will give you a place to start, and maybe you can find one that would be a good fit for wherever you are in your homeschool, whether you have all young ones, if you have a wide range like I do, if you have older ones. If you would like more details or more description, you can go onto the blog, OurLifeHomeschooling.com. I have a lot more details on the post on the blog. Thanks for listening in. Have a great day.